There we go. Welcome back to another UPbuild garage video, now a new UPbuild garage. So in this one, as you can see, we're going to be working on the roof. So we're going to be carrying on getting all them joists in, get all the joists in along the roof, and carry on get all the roof boarded. So we'll have the whole thing hopefully boarded in this one. Should get it hopefully
a few
finished.
Brackets to put on to put the joists in that in.
Yeah.
Get the brackets in first.
Yeah, line
then
all them
the
up.
joists into them, and then we can start to lay the
board on the roof.
The boards on the top.
Get the roof on, and we'll get.
And then we'll get the damp course on top of that again.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll get that far on this one, but we're going to get the boards on anyway.
As far as we can another day.
Yeah.
We extend it out at the front of the garage as well. We're going to extend that and all.
That's true. So I think we started that on the last one, so you'll see this one sort of like a bit more how we're going to do that in this one. So
we're a little bit further ahead with things.
The front end, we'll go. Obviously, I haven't mentioned. Obviously, we're going to put a bit of support in the front, so there'll be some steel supports that'll run in the front at the top here, just hold the front overhang on.
Yeah, take a bit of the weight of it because it's fairly well out, so you want to take the weight. Like
I think obviously we would have done it differently if we'd thought on earlier, but we decided in the end to actually have the overhang at the front because we quite like the idea, so we're making it in a different way. Anyway, you'll see in this one.
You'll see what happens.
What we're going to do is, and I think I mentioned in the last one, any questions you have, we'll answer them at the end of the video. So there's quite a few questions in the last video, which we'll do is we'll answer them at the end of this video. So again, if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments section just at the bottom of the video, and then we'll answer them at the end of the next video.
Yeah,
and
we'll
try and get in the habit of doing that every time.
We'll keep up to whatever the lads want to know. If they want to know anything, any questions we're doing,
and lasses,
we'll try and keep up to letting you know what's happening.
And
why we've done things.
Exactly. I might go round the doors the way we do things, but
that's it.
Anyway, and don't forget Patreon. Have a look at Patreon. We also really appreciate all of our Patreon support. It's really helping us massively to build the garage because it's quite a big project. Subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. That helps us out. Got to say these things because it really helps us and the views and channel and YouTube, how it all works, how all that algorithm works. But really appreciate the support as everyone.
That's fantastic. It's been fantastic, lovely.
Yeah, don't forget
the thumbs up button.
Yes.
The thumbs up button, that left hand corner. Pressing that forward.
Another one helps out.
every little thing like that helps. It helps us.
It does massively.
We do run on a bit of a shoestring.
Well, we're just kind of hobbying anyway. Yes. Anyway, let's crack on. Let's get this roof on.
Yeah.
Well, that was a bit of a false start. So we got all that timber unloaded and then started fitting the boards on the roof, and we've got 4 of them fitted, as you can see. There's 4 boards up there, you've just seen us fit. And then 9mm, there should have been 11mm boards. I didn't realise until we started fitting them. Well, obviously after getting the 4 fitted, they felt a little bit flexible, a bit more flexible than what I thought they would be. And then I've just looked at them, and actually they've given us 9mm boards. So I've been up and I've changed them over. I've actually taken them back, and I'm getting another pile of 11mm boards. So that was 21 boards they gave us. What happened was the top of the pile had 11mm boards on it when I picked them up at the builder's yard. So we put them 2 on and just carried on, thinking the whole pile was 11mm, obviously, as it should have been, and it wasn't. The rest were 9mm, so we've now got to take them 4 boards back off again. So happily they've just written those 4 boards off, and they've given us another 21 9mm boards, which is good, on 19, because we had 2, the first 2. That's set us back a bit. What a pain. Never mind, anyway, so we'll crack on with that. I'm just waiting on Dad coming down, because it's the next day. Actually, it's a few days later. I've had a few days of work. Anyway, so like I said, we'll crack on, get them boards taken back off again, and then we'll start fitting the 11mm boards. We found a little bit of an issue as well. We're fitting them boards up height, so actually it's kind of like had a bit of a helping in some ways, because the corner isn't quite perfectly at a right angle, so I just need to maybe trim a bit off the front. I'm going to set them back up again. Anyway, there we go. We'll crack on and get those fitted. That was a right pain though. There we go. First few boards on the right down this side. First few on, and then we've got another row we're going to put along the front, so we know we've got a nice right angle, and then we'll start running them all the way up from there. But we've had a right mess on with boards, because they sent us the wrong boards. I think we mentioned that earlier. We've got 9mm boards, and then they've sent us, we're getting the 11mm boards, but they're bigger. I don't know what's happened there, whether they've got imperial measurement boards and imperial boards, but the first lot were 240 by 120, and these are 244 by 122. So the joists and things, as we've lined it up, as we've laid it out, aren't quite laid out right, as you can imagine. What a flipping mess on. Anyway, there we go. That's our first row on anyway. We set the camera up in time lapse now, and time lapse the rest of them going on. But we've got to, obviously everything's taking a bit longer, and we've had rain. There we go anyway. We'll crack on with that. Brilliant. Right, back on it again for a bit this afternoon. I've got a couple hours to spend, or a bit of an afternoon to spend on carrying on with our roof. It's typical, the weather's been really good, and then comes the day where you can work on the roof. It's blowing a gale and raining. But we're going to have a bit go of it anyway, see what we can get done. I'm just, at the minute, on the last one, put the boards on to the very back, and then I realised I hadn't actually put me little bits of timber, same as I've done on the outside, little bits on the outside for the overhang. I'd forgot to put them on the back, so I'm just setting the saw up now, because obviously the pitch of the roof, I need to just cut the timbers on an angle so that they come out the back on that board at the very top where you can see the joists attached to. These will be on the opposite side of that, just extend it out for another 6 inches. So I'm just setting the saw up. I've cut one, that one will go up there now. I'll just sit on the other side of that timber at the top, on the other side of those joists, for the overhang. So that's what I'm doing at the minute. Just waiting on my dad coming down. He's on his way. hopefully the wind, it's due to die down later on this afternoon, so it's, I think it's about 2 o'clock at the minute. And hopefully get a bit of this done, put the rest of the joists in. And then we're ready to put the rest of the boards on. We can get all these rest of these boards on, which would be nice. Give us a bit of shelter and a bit of cover then. And then we'll be on taking the tent down. Anyway, that's what we're on with at the minute. We'll crack on with that for a bit, see how we get on. Pop you on the tripod and on time lapse. There we go, finally all the joists up. And then now we're just going to start putting boards up now. Fantastic. Looking good. Very happy with that. Right, there we go. That's a good bit done. quite a bit. That's the roof on anyway.
Right, fantastic. Got the roof on. It's absolutely fantastic seeing that on. It's
looks
brilliant.
great.
Brilliant.
So people have been waiting for ages to get that roof on to see what it's going to look like, just to kind of get an idea of the... I mean, it kind of just shows the size of the garage a bit, but when you see the roof on the top, obviously it gives you a bit of shelter. We've still got obviously all of the weatherproof to go on, and there's also all the way down the side, there's a big piece to cut, or a piece all the way to cut all the way down the side. But that'll take quite a bit of time to do that. We'll probably film bits of it anyway.
Yeah.
Not the boring bits, but what a mess on with that roof. We've got the wrong size blinking boards.
And then we had the joists in, which we measured up for the first boards we got. The second boards were bigger, so the joists would alter.
What we had to do was, I don't know if you've seen in the video or not, but we did the runs all the way from front to back. The first one would put it where we wanted to sort of overlap on the first joist, where it would overlap, where the board would overlap. And the next one, when you put the board on, it was coming over the top of the joist because it was measured for the previous boards. So I had to literally take a slither off all the boards once I put them on with the ripsaw all the way from front to back to then get the next board to overlap on the next joist. We could have moved all the joists, but I mean, then that would be moving all the brackets, all the joists. So anyway, there we go.
It was easy just to cut them down a little bit.
I don't know
Make
what
them the same size as the first boards we had.
It didn't take long. It's just a bit of it. Just, what a mess on.
It's just one of them things that happens.
Man.
One of these things that happens.
So what we said we'd do is answer some of the questions. We had a few questions in the last one, so I'll just run through some of the questions what you were asking in the last one. Those first ones, someone saying about the water, where's it going to go? There'll be gutter on the front. We're putting gutter down the front now.
Yeah, the spouts and that to go on, and then the gutter to go on, and then that stops the water running right off the front.
Put drip boards on the roof as well, like a drip board all the way along the front, so it runs into the gutter, and then they're down coming, and we'll probably put the down coming down across to the drain, so the water will just run off the front into the drain. That was the plan all along. Someone else was saying the screws, worried about the screw head snapping. It was more on the brackets. The little brackets will be fine, but the big brackets, what we did was we've actually put large structural wood screws in. The same as what we used.
They're really long, like.
It's the same screws you saw we used to put the posts together.
Yeah.
So you use the structural wood screws, which they'll be fine. They're actually proper structural wood screws. Someone else mentioned about insulation and on the condensation on the roof. You'll see, well obviously you've seen in this one, we'll put boards on the roof. On top of the boards we'll be putting a weatherproof membrane, which is going on, and then the boards will go on top of that, on top of a lat. In fact, no, they might not need to go on a lat, so there'll be no problem with condensation because we'll put the insulation on the inside, and obviously that'll stop the heat running through and reaching the board at the top. And any damp that does run off the boards will run just through the back of the weatherproof into the gutter. We shouldn't get any condensation because of the obviously there's a lot of stuff underneath the boards and
we've got it all worked out. We'll come to doing it.
Yeah, well
that stage.
You'll see that's how we've. You see obviously the boards have just got the weatherproof to go on top of that. So that should stop us with condensation. And like we've seen the insulation, we've got those boards. You saw the PIR boards, which we'll put in the roof, and then on the sides we'll insulate all the side walls as well. We just might use the wool insulation on the walls inside because those PIR boards are dead expensive.
Very expensive, aren't they?
I know someone laughed about us taking them out the other garage. Well, if they knew how much they cost,
they would know.
They're not cheap.
A lot of it will go in here.
Yeah. So that's that one. What else?
The windows in the back.
Somebody was saying, that's another one, somebody was saying about the brackets on the main joist not being very big. I mean, I must admit, we thought the same thing, but we've asked the professionals, they're absolutely fine. It's clever, the engineering, isn't it, when you think, but they probably look smaller on camera, I don't know, but any amount big enough apparently, there's no
it's
way.
what they use. It's what the professionals all use. There's
bigger
no
structures
problem
than this,
with them.
so they're quite thick gauge metal, and they're like I say, they probably look bigger than what they do on camera. But yeah, they're absolutely fine. Those brackets are fine. I did think of putting a little L bracket underneath, but I'm not going to do that because, like I say, the professionals say there's no need to do it. Well, there's no need to do it.
No, don't need to do it now.
What else? And there was someone asked about. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. We've thought this because obviously it's such a nice area and the views are lovely. We want to at some point put some windows in the back. We're just going to come back to that later. We'll cut those.
We'll cut them out and fit them in when we find out what size of windows we're going to fit in.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll cross that bridge at a later date.
Yeah, but it's a good idea. Yeah. I like that. It would be a good idea because obviously when you're inside, a little bit of natural light coming in. Although saying the natural light's good for working in there, but when you're filming, it's not very good because then you can't control the light. Although unless you put something in front of them to block the light coming in, it's tricky when you're filming because if you have natural light as well as artificial light, it doesn't work very well mixing that for filming. So. but we're still going to have some windows in. It's just nice to have it. It's nice to have the windows in because it opens it up a bit. And the windows are nice, aren't they, to have in?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, yes.
Some more mention we're keeping cost. That's a good idea. Or is it? I don't think we want to know.
No, it'll all tally up at the end. I think it'll be quite a bit.
Well, I don't know if it will all tally up, but we'll see.
Some of it will.
We'll probably have a rough guesstimate at the end, or a rough idea of what will cost.
Yeah.
We'll probably rough working out. It'll be like within sort of like, 200 or 300 quid.
It'll be a few quid either way.
Aye. So, it's thousands. It's a lot of money. It's not cheap.
Yeah, it'll come with a lot of money.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's, again, if I've missed any comments that have come through since we've just filmed this, I'll add them in the next one. And then if you have any comments, stick them in the comments down below, and we'll answer them in the next video when we do the next video.
Yeah.
And the next one, it's going to be putting, obviously, the finishing off the roof. There's all that bit down the side, obviously. There's quite a bit of time spent finishing that bit down the side with the boards that need to put on just to fit in the cut down the side. The weatherproof go on, and
That's it.
also we're going to start opening the inside up, so we'll have the garage tent down, and well, there's a few bits, but you'll see it look a lot nicer the next one. You get to see the full size of the garage inside in the next one.
When you get the tent down and everything like that, you'll see the size. No problem. It takes a lot of room up the tent.
It does.
But it's been handy the time we've had it building this, because we kept everything inside of that.
Yeah.
And we built around it, which has been great.
It's been fantastic. We've seen it's been really good.
Been great having
Kept
it like
us,
for that reason.
Kept us in there. It gives us a bit of shelter during sit inside there and have our coffees and our beer.
Well, little snacks.
Anyway, I think that's probably good for this one. So don't forget, check out Patreon. Really appreciate our support. All those who have joined Patreon, massively appreciate the support on Patreon. Those who have joined for a couple of quid,
definitely.
Check it out and see what you see. It's a bit of the behind the scenes, some of the projects we've done in the past, and some of the bits and bobs, and then subscribe, obviously, if you haven't already. We're nearly there. We're so close to 20,000 subscribers.
Yeah, we're getting close.
By the time this video goes out, we'll probably be there.
Yeah.
But yes, that's fantastic.
Brilliant.
And also that other one, which is quite handy.
Yeah, the thumbs up one. The thumbs up one. Press that button in.
Yeah.
In the left hand side of the screen there.
Fantastic.
It's lovely. Aye.
Yes, appreciate it a lot. Anyway, we'll see you on the next one. Take care, everyone. We'll see you later.
Bye now.